So it's been about 10 years since I graduated high school, and it's kind of crazy to look back and think about all those years because, man, there was a lot of things I wanted in my adult life to go a certain way, but honestly, some things in my life did not go the way I wanted it to be. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to sit down and just kind of analyze and reflect back on one of the things I wanted to do with my life. Therefore, my life isn't so terrible right now when it comes to everything with like moving out, being able to work whenever I want to and do all of that, and the YouTube job too, or the dream, I should say. I wouldn't say it's a job yet. But I'm really happy that everyone on YouTube is like watching my shit and everything. It's really awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm very happy with everything that's gone this year, but I will say, man, I've had a lot of setbacks, and those setbacks were kind of drastic, and it kind of messed everything up that I wanted it to do. At the first half of this year, when I was working at McDonald's and this YouTube gig on the side, things were pretty good. Like, yes, things were building up slowly, but I had a car, I had everything figured out with like what I wanted to do with the year, and things were slowly on the come up. All I needed was just a different job, and I got that different job by going back to my old one, but on a flexible schedule. And I will say, man, that Amazon Flex is amazing. If I ever didn't do that or go back to that job for that, I don't know where I would be right now. But bro, I will say is I had like $4,500 saved up, man. I was doing fantastic. I was having a lot more money coming in, and I was on the come up to finally get out of my financial problems, right? Because I wanted to go for financial freedom. Now, obviously, this was going to take some time, and I was doing a pretty good job. But once I got around to that $4,500 mark, I was driving to work, and then my car breaks down, right? And I will say, man, I kind of messed everything up with that because once I got that, I ended up buying another car that was a complete lemon, man. It was such a fucking impulsive, this stupid buy I did. I will say I take accountability for that, man, because I was on the come up of getting like my first $10,000 ever saved this year. And it's just so frustrating because I had all the situation figured out with roommates and stuff that were compatible and paying their share and all this. And I just felt like I just kind of fumbled the bag this year on that pretty bad. But I will say is I ended up getting in another car finally. And it's a really good one. It's a nice little Buick I got. It's a nice little spy car, right? It's pretty cool. Like, I love this thing. And I'm very happy to be able to get a paycheck, a full-on paycheck again because, man, I was doing Lyft rides for 3 months after I got that lemon. And that's where it killed all my finances. I had to start back from square one. It was the most brutal and frustrating thing ever because it seems like every time I get around to that 4,000, like 4,500, 5,000 mark, something fucking happens, man. And I think we can all relate to this situation because when it does happen, it's so infuriating when you finally get something financially. The sad part is, too, this was not the first time I had something like this happen to me around the same range, right? So when I got 4,500 bucks, right, last time while I was working crazy hours, locking in, doing everything, doing a fantastic job. The difference was I didn't have roommates this time, which made it a lot harder, right? If I had at least one roommate, I probably would have had at least 8 to 10 grand by doing this. But I was doing peak season at my old job at the old Amazon facility, and I was doing good, man, working 55, 53 hours, 60 hours. It was awesome, and it wasn't bad. Obviously, it was tiring, but that money coming in was so worth it. It was about 2.5 months of hard work, and it did pay off. But unfortunately, I had a friend that scammed me over $1,200, bro. And then my job slowed down after that because at this Amazon facility, they do a flex up or flex down. And once peak season is over, bro, the nice money starts coming in and it starts slowing down. And that's where it kind of happened because I got scammed by my buddy. He helped me move and everything. And it was so fun, like so nice of him, right? And he said he asked me to borrow him over $1,000, bro. And I will say I was a fucking idiot for this, and I gave him over like $1,200, and he just blocked me, and I never heard from him again. And that was a really tough lesson. And this was a couple years ago when this happened, and it just felt like ever since then this fucking crazy life stuff happens around that range. But the good news is it's not the end of the world. Life just simply fucking happens sometimes, and you just got to get back up and do it again. And that's exactly what I'm doing. The good thing is that a lot of money is going to be coming in really quick because at least I have the plan set where I don't have to find like another job or gig or anything like that, and just find a way just to tough it all out and make sure that everything works as planned. I did even try to transfer to closer facilities to try to solve that lack of car problem before I even bought this car, by the way, and man, it didn't work out. They denied me. I also had this plan of moving out to get to a different apartment because I was going to have a lot more money while still having roommates and everything too. Because this apartment's kind of old and overpriced and has a lot of problems. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that the worst time too. That was like the most defeating thing is when you have to renew a lease that you really don't want to renew because you know this place is just not very good. Obviously, I took this place at the time because I just needed something because, life was hard back then financially to the point where I was super broke. But the difference was I had absolutely no plan to get some money built up quickly. And that was the thing too, is that I was very lost a few years ago when I first moved in here. It's a huge life lesson I've learned in life where when things go down the crapper, dude, that you just got to find a way to keep fighting, man, because there's a lot of people who would go in this situation and they just fucking quit. And I'm definitely was never a quitter when it comes to anything, when it comes to my passions, when it comes to my finances, man. I'm always trying to figure that out. And my 20s has kind of like been like that a lot, where lots of learning, lots of things to do, because I moved out quite late. I moved out at 22 years old, and it was kind of rough, man, because I should have moved out earlier. But you know what, man? At least I moved out, because there's some people who never moved out still, and they're in their 30s. And that shit is very scary to think about, not having any type of like life experience outside of your parents' house at that age. There was a lot of things that also went my way in that situation too, because when that car broke down, I was already on the flex schedule like the first week, because if I were to go back like a couple weeks back and the car breaks down on the way to work, I most likely would have lost my job, because when you're full time, you're on the unpaid time off thing where you have to earn your unpaid time off to get a day off, and you simply cannot skip work, because if you go negative in a certain amount on your attendance thing at the UPT meter they got, you would just get canned, and the HR most likely wouldn't care. The good thing is, though, like, you could always reapply, but you would have to wait 3 months. So the fact that I even got to keep my job in that situation because of that was actually really good, because now I still have the job and it's still doing me really well. To anyone that goes through financial hardship or life happening, bro, just know that it's just a bump in the road, because that's what this situation is, because there's a lot of things I am grateful for this year, too. I'm very grateful for my girlfriend being super supportive throughout the whole thing when this happened. I'm also very grateful about everybody else that's just supporting the channel, like I said, and listening to me, because y'all don't have to do this, man. But sometimes life does get hard, and for me, I may seem like my life is perfect, but I will say, man, it is definitely not perfect at all. It definitely needs some adjustments, but it's definitely getting there with progress. It's just taking a lot slower to do it the honest way, because there's a lot of people that will fuck people over the most slimy ways possible just to get ahead. The craziest thing, too, that happened to me is after I got the car, right? I was like, all right, let's get back on track. We got everything figured out, And then my apartment's power goes out. And the craziest thing is I file a maintenance request, right? And they look at it. And I'm not even fucking kidding you, bro. The guy comes in, right? He tries to fix it by just flipping the switches back on, just like I did, right? And it worked only temporarily, and the guy left. I'm just like, bro, we literally did that shit, and it went off. That's why we filed a request. And the saddest thing is that I filed another one, right? And they ignored it, and I was fucking mad, dude. Like, bro, this place is unlivable right now, dude. Like, you gotta get your ass in here and fix this, And I'm getting to the point where, like, if they don't fix something, like, I might have to fucking, save up money to pay my way out of a lease, or find a way to get out of the lease early legally, because I'm sure this shit is not legal. But man, it's just like, damn, life really did not go the way I planned it to this year. And this is what kind of inspired me to make this type of video, because y'all, life is fucking hard sometimes, and this shit is for real, for real. The biggest and craziest reality for me I've noticed is that, like, if something were to actually happen, I really don't have much of a safety net, So I gotta make sure that nothing really bad happens to me, obviously. But man, just that thought of like something could be potentially happening to me, like going homeless again or something, is fucking awful. I definitely would not like that one bit. The craziest thing though is that at least everything is caught up with like rent and whatnot too, because it could be a lot worse, dude. Apparently some people get super behind on rent to the point where they owe like thousands of dollars. And I actually know people that did owe thousands of dollars like that. And I'm just like, one, how the fuck do these apartments let them get that high? And two, I'm surprised you didn't get kicked out earlier because I'm always scared of like not paying my rent on time because the fees that you get when you don't pay them on time, man, they're scary here. Like it's $150 fee on the first day that you're late, right? And every day after that is literally like $25, and that shit will add up quick. These people here under the new management that we got, man, they're kind of slumlords a little bit because I remember we had like two sets of management here just got overturned. I'm just like, bro, like that's crazy. I don't know why the management keeps getting overturned, but working in property must really fucking suck, dude. I never did it, but it does not sound very appealing. The great thing is that the year is not over and there's still plenty of time to still turn things around for the next 2 months because there's going to be plenty of overtime and hours at my job. And this year really has not been that bad outside of this whole like bump in the road I got. It's actually been one of the best years I've had in a long time. And I'm looking forward for more really good years because I think this is just the beginning of a good trend of better years. Anyways, guys, I just want to say is thank y'all again for listening to this video. I just wanted to keep it real and just get on here and to invent a little bit what's actually been going on with my life a little bit because a lot of people fake this bullshit, but I just wanted to give you guys some transparency of what how I am feeling right now. I'm not feeling bad or hateful or upset. I'm just a little stressed, but I think I'm going to make it and things will get better within a little bit more time. I still have enough to eat and everything and survive just fine. I just got to wait until the next couple weeks and things will be back in order. Another thing I want to tell y'all too is that like the power outages I am getting right now with my apartment is actually affecting the way I'm getting gameplay. But thankfully I found a YouTube channel that actually lets people use footage for like their videos and whatnot for Call of Duty. So I went ahead and used that, and I'm going to link the guy's videos and channel in the description below because he deserves a big shout out for being such a great Chad for this, man. I'm really happy and thank you for coming in clutch, bro. You guys take it easy and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.